What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the third episode to the What's Good in Wrestling podcast. I'm Andrew Pillick alongside Britton Harrison. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, man. 3 weeks in a row. Consistency is key, baby.
Consistency. This is something that we weren't doing before. We started the last episode like this, but it's true. Like this is kind of big. 3 episodes. That's so
Yeah.
sad. But I mean, listen, man, we're having fun. Hopefully, you guys watching are as well. Appreciate all the people coming back to watch. We know it's early. The views aren't there. The subscribers aren't there, but that's what you got to do. You got to grind. You got to make your way up, and that's what we're doing. So we've got a bunch of topics that we want to talk about today, including AEW Full Gear, and then we're going to get on to maybe some Survivor Series predictions because that is coming up. It kind of snuck up on both of us a little bit here, so yeah, we'll get into that. First, we'll talk about AEW is last Saturday. Depending on when you're watching this, hopefully you're going to see this before Survivor Series. If you are watching on YouTube, but AEW Full Gear. I want to know what your general thoughts were on the show. I wasn't able to catch a lot of it. I was really busy, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell asleep. I was really exhausted. So, let me know what you thought about AEW Full Gear.
I thought it was pretty good actually. It was the first time I've paid more than $10 for a wrestling pay-per-view in about 7 years. So that was kind of a rough band-aid to rip off. But it was nice. It was fun. MJF versus Darby, great opener. Those two are, like they say, going to be pillars of that company for years to come. They proved why they're going to be. Wasn't crazy over the finish, but more will come from that. Um, Best thing all night. It's tough between the top three main events. The best thing, everybody knows what the best thing that happened was, but next to that, like Miro versus Danielson was so good, so
Yeah,
intense. It was everything that I expected, honestly. And then Punk versus Kingston. I thought for a second that Eddie was just going to sleep him with that one back fist and either just pin him or just beat the shit out of him the entire match. But yeah, Punk ends up getting the win. I didn't agree with that, but the aftermath made me think that, of course, there'll be a second match. Because the match was shorter than a lot of people expected. I know a lot
yeah,
of people's reaction was like, "We want more, we want more," and I feel like they were really holding back. And when we get that rematch, they'll really go balls to the wall, and that's when Eddie gets the win. I think he should absolutely be the one to beat Punk. Somebody's got to beat Punk, somebody's got to beat Danielson. Eddie should be one of those guys. He's great. He's got what you need in a star. He's the man. Eddie Kingston is the man. I'm not going to get too much into that, but if you've ever watched Eddie Kingston, like he's a special kind of talent.
yeah,
And then the main event, Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. Kenny had been champion for like 2 weeks shy of a year. This was the rematch from last year at Full Gear, the World Title Eliminator Series, Kenny versus Hangman. But of course, Kenny won last year, and I'm not too familiar with like the BTE, like what's happened with them outcasting Hangman. I know kind of the gist of it, but like the Young Bucks came out, Matt Jackson gave him that nod. He has that final buckshot lariat and wins the title. The crowd goes insane. There was a really great POV that Austin Gunn got from the crowd where it's that last buckshot and the crowd he zooms out just as the 3 count hits and the entire crowd just explodes, man.
yeah,
And that's going to be one of their biggest moments in their company's entire history, because that's what they've really kind of built around since the beginning, is Hangman winning the title, and it finally came full circle. And I think he's going to be a great world champion. I think he's the first world champion out of any promotion that's been born in the 90s. So that's kind of cool.
yeah.
Uh, he's more relatable to the wrestling fans nowadays than I think a lot are, because his character is just so like real.
Yeah.
Like what he's gone through is so real, and people relate to it so much. So whenever he finally won the title, man, everybody was so happy for him. I'm so happy for him. Can't wait to see what he does. But yeah, out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8. I need to go back and rewatch a couple of matches. I had like internet trouble during the Britt Baker match, and she's one of my favorites, like in wrestling in general. But I heard that I didn't really miss too much from that match anyway. So maybe that was the best match for the internet to go out. But yeah, Full Gear, man. I'm excited for the next one. I'm not sure what the next pay per view is. I'm sure somebody will let me know, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Honestly, that I'm glad you wrapped it up that way because I literally didn't see enough. I was watching a lot of the highlights and stuff like that. I still plan on going back and watching a lot of the stuff that I missed because I think it's fair when I'm talking about wrestling on a podcast that I should at least be watching a lot of the products that are coming out. A few of the spots in the show that I liked. I mean, the cowboy shit, man, that's all we got to say. First of all, that finish was dope. I loved the little nod, like that gave me chills when I seen that. I was like, oh damn, like there's some real stuff here, because now the storylines can go into a bunch of different ways. Because if Kevin Steen comes over, that adds to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Adam Cole and the Bucks do their own thing, if Hangman somehow gets involved with the Bucks, I don't know, there's a bunch of different things. Kenny, I mean, again, this is why, like, I don't always agree with like the big factions and cliques and stuff like that. But when it works like this, where now there's turmoil inside of it and they can break up into other little factions, it adds to it. I think him winning the title was really cool. I did really enjoy the pop from the crowd. It was really cool. You could see, like you said, like they really connect with him. So congrats to Hangman for sure, dude. The one spot in the Darby versus MJF match where MJF is like outside of the ring and he's like, I feel like he was like smack talking a fan or something like that. He was like just turned around and Darby just launches himself out of the ring and just clobbers him. I was like, this
Dude,
guy's a maniac. Like that was crazy. He hit him so hard. I was like, that is
dude,
not fake. There's nothing fake about that.
he's like one of the last people in wrestling that I would want to wrestle because I feel like he would legitimately beat the crap out of me.
Dude, honestly, yeah, he doesn't look very big. He doesn't look that tough, but man, if he starts beating you and hitting you with stuff like that, like he just tosses himself at guys, like
It's a
insane.
human cannonball.
Yeah, I just like to address me nodding no during the Britt Baker little thing that we were just talking about there. I hated that match. I fell asleep towards the end of the match. I thought it was awful. I like Britt Baker, but I just didn't think the match was good. She's done a bunch of other great things, so I'm not here to be, hater or anything like that. I actually really love her gimmick. I think she's over as hell. And Britsburg, I mean, who doesn't love that pop? Like I've watched that a couple times. Like no hate here, just the match wasn't good. Like, I mean, people can have bad matches, happens to everybody. I just don't maybe like her and her opponent there. They didn't really clash very well. So uh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I, I looked down at my phone at one point and opened up my group chat, and my friend Tommy was like, Ty Conti was not ready for this match.
Nope, not at all. She was
So,
not ready whatsoever. I definitely agree with that. I had texted you and I was just like, yeah, bro, this is brutal or something like that. I was like, this match is terrible. Like this
yeah,
is bad.
you said this is brutal, and I thought that like it was another one of those like you remember that match where Baker got really bloody. I
Yeah,
thought it was like another one of those, and I was like, oh, you mean like bad brutal?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan of that. So yeah, I don't know. I think from what I've seen so far is really good. I mean, you can't go wrong with Miro and Brian Danielson. Like again, just two class acts in the ring. They just know what they're doing. They're both over as well. Like, I mean, that's the thing, is like these guys are just over and it helps with the match. I loved Punk's little five knuckle shuffle rendition that he did, where you know what? People were like, oh, whatever. Listen, the only thing that I will say about that is that that particular thing that happened kind of added to the storyline, because I watched an interview that Eddie Kingston was doing and he was saying that it was kind of like a remake of the Punk versus Cena feud, where Cena was basically telling Punk, like, no, like you don't belong. Like I'm at the top, you're not at the top type thing. And then Punk wins, right? In this case, Punk was telling Eddie, yo, like, this ain't you. Like, we told you back in the day that you don't belong here. And we wanted you to prove it. So it was that little five knuckle shuffle was almost a little bit into the storyline as well. Um, from everything I've heard, Punk and Cena are good buddies. Off camera, off everything. They probably are. You know what, Cena? I guarantee you, Cena seen that, and he probably said something about it to Punk. Like, let's be real. Like, that was funny. Like, you could tell, like, he genuinely enjoyed doing that, because not only did it add to the match, but he probably knew Cena was gonna be like, come on, buddy. What
yeah,
was that?
Yeah, Cena's mentioned him a couple times too over the past couple of years. Like I remember during the Fiend or Fiend feud, he
Yep.
mentioned him. I remember there was another point recently. He made a nod. It was during the Roman build-up. He
Yeah.
kind of made like a nod. He was, "I might even kiss you goodbye."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. They
so
they do those little things to each other, man. Like it's
yeah,
funny. It's
it's
funny.
just, yeah,
Yeah, we'll acknowledge also the Eddie Guerrero tributes throughout the night, which again, anytime a wrestler pays tribute to Eddie Guerrero, I'm all for it. Um, just I think that sometimes like you shouldn't feel forced to pay tribute to somebody. At some points, it almost feels forced, which kind of sucks for me because I loved Eddie Guerrero, one
yeah,
of my favorites of all time. But I do love the Eddie tributes, so I just hope people didn't feel forced to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. A couple
um,
little nods were okay, but at some points it was like,
yeah,
you're
and
kind of getting a
again,
little dependent on it.
yeah, this isn't us like saying this in a disrespectful way. We're just saying that we hope that the wrestlers that did pay tribute to him, like they genuinely were trying to, and not just trying to get a retweet on Twitter type thing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
do it because you actually loved Eddie Guerrero and you wanted to pay tribute to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. If he would have stuck around longer, probably would have had a case to be the greatest ever, honestly.
Oh
And we
yeah.
we we could talk about that in another episode because man, I got some theories about certain wrestlers and if they stuck around longer. Because a guy like Edge, no neck injury, dude,
Oh yeah. There's so many
like,
different like little butterfly effects in wrestling. Like if this guy stayed, if this guy never showed up, it just everything had to have gone exactly the way it's gone for it to. It's insane. One little thing changes everything.
yep.
The
So
entire landscape.
that's another idea. We can go through those, the butterfly effects of wrestling. That sounds
Yeah.
kind of fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you have any other thoughts on AEW. I guess I'm just really excited to see where Hangman goes from here. I want to. Did Jungle Boy ever really get the title shot?
Yeah. He faced Kenny on a dynamite
Yeah,
back a few months ago.
I didn't like
It was a
that.
good match.
See, I like the match, but I don't like the fact that they made Jungle Boy look like a star when he was like shaking hands with Christian. Dude, you get the okay from Christian. That's tops. He's one of those
Yeah.
workers that everybody respects. You even seen Punk say it. Everybody said it. Christian, he's tops. He's a class act professional. Shout out to Canada. We love Christian, but I had to throw that in there. But definitely wasn't okay with Jungle Boy just getting a TV match and then it's like, well, now he's out of the picture because I feel like they could build him up a lot more. I actually really like Jungle Boy to be honest with
Oh, I
you,
do
but
too.
and his the theme song is so damn catchy, man. Like you
Yeah.
you gotta love it. But
It's on my
even
playlist.
yeah, dude, honestly, it's so funny. I was watching Being the Elite and they were like leaving because you know how they like film all their entrances and whatever else. They're leaving and like the Bucks were like singing along, like, damn, this is kind of catchy. I was like, that's so funny. Like
Yeah.
like if I was in the ring and I was facing Adam Cole, like I would just want to be like, Adam Cole, baby, like
I don't
every
see how they
time.
compose themselves, dude. Like the crowds are always so into it. It's like you want to join them.
Yeah, dude, like,
You just
dude,
gotta stand there.
how could you not sing No More Words? You're facing Jeff Hardy. Like, dude, even when Karrion Cross was in the ring and like No More Words hit, he's like, ah, damn. Like you could tell. If you haven't seen that, if anybody who
I
hasn't
haven't
seen
seen
that,
that actually.
dude, the first night where he got No More Words back was against Cross. And
Mhm.
Cross is waiting. They've got like a tight shot on Cross's face. No More Words hits. He loses it. Like you could tell he was a fan. Like he
Oh
genuinely was
yeah,
like, ah, come on, bro. Like
you're gonna
no
get me
more
with
words.
this.
Dude, dude, you gotta see it. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I was so pumped when he reacted like that. I'm like, Cross gets it. He knows. He knows No More Words is a goat entrance theme. So
It's
um
crazy all these ones that are getting into wrestling nowadays. Like Cross and like these younger talents are ones that have grown up watching the same stuff that we watch. So there's gonna be moments like that, and it'd be just like if you or I were in the ring.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah, it's insane. So again, AEW, from what I've seen was great. Take Britain's word more than mine. He said it was an 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. So definitely a real good show. So we will move over to Survivor Series. So again, like I think I had just mentioned it before we started filming, and we were both kind of like, yeah, like you were saying, it's like, damn, I forgot. Like, and I was kind of like, yeah, until I seen the promo a couple days ago, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
damn, Survivor Series is here already because the build up to this sucks. I'm sorry. I love
Yeah,
WWE, but this build up sucks. There's no storyline, there's no beef between the shows. Like it's just like the only beef is Charlotte and Becky. Like really, there's
yeah.
nothing else. Like they just
There's no
started,
stakes.
yeah, they just started building Big E versus Roman, and it's like the build-up's already over. Like it's the show time. Like I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't want to go too far into a storyline because they just want to be like, okay, now after Survivor Series, now we're into our main push towards other pay-per-views. But I don't really know.
You look at Survivor Series past, especially like 2017 and 2018, they put a lot into that hype.
Yeah,
2019 too, whenever they included NXT, and over the past couple of years, man, it's just like they just kind of don't care about it anymore. They went through a long period where they didn't care about it and tried to hype it up again, and I guess they just gave up on it. But
yeah,
whenever Survivor Series hype is real, like it's a lot of fun. I remember I went to Survivor Series 2017 in Houston, and that was the year that it was Brock versus AJ, and they had like a really star-studded 5-on-5 match. It was like Shane McMahon, Cena, Orton, Shinsuke, and Robert Roode on Team SmackDown, and Raw had like Braun Strowman, Triple H, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and somebody else.
like that's
And
insane.
yeah, the hype was insane for it. That's like whenever the whole Under Siege thing, because whenever it's brand warfare, like that's a lot of fun. Like they could do so much with like Raw versus SmackDown, SmackDown versus Raw, and vice versa. They've done it in the past. I mean, it's legitimately so good when they do it, and it's just one of those things. It's like they can't be bothered with, and you have
Yeah,
so much there. They don't put any stakes on the line. There's no titles on the line. The only time that the world title has been on the line the past couple of years is whenever, yeah, they didn't want to do Brock versus the Fiend, which would have been awesome.
yeah, I know.
But uh, no stakes. It's not like the winning brand gets an advantage in the Royal Rumble or anything. It's just like, okay, Raw wins 6-0. There's been a couple of years where Raw's just clean sweep them, and I hope they don't do that this year because it takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah,
But there's nothing on the card that like has me super excited. Like Big E versus Roman's going to be cool, but I think they had a match on Raw a couple of months ago,
yeah, they
and
did.
I didn't see that match. That was like a couple of weeks where I went without cable because I was moving. But nothing jumps out at me. I feel like the New Day versus the Bloodline would have been a lot better.
Yeah,
But
that would have been crazy. Like you could have added so much to that. But yeah, no, like I always thought that it would have been cool at a Survivor Series pay-per-view that the winner, like the winning team, would get to steal a member of the roster from the opposing brand. So it's like, let's say SmackDown wins, you know what I mean? Then on the next episode of SmackDown, they go, the pick is in, like we stole one of their superstars because we won. So we get to steal
yeah,
somebody, and who knows, it could be a big star or an up and coming star that they believe could, you know because that's the thing. You could go the sports route and go, they picked a young stud because like in sports, when you have draft picks, you want to pick somebody that could lead your team into the future. So it's
right.
like, SmackDown could win and then they choose like an up and coming star. Like they could be like, oh well, we choose Damien Priest or whoever else, right? Raw or SmackDown, whoever. Like I don't know. That's something that we could, again, we're gonna do a ton of fantasy booking on here. We've got so many ideas, but that's what I would have went with, something like that. But I guess we'll just get into the matches that are confirmed so far, since WWE sometimes likes to drop a few matches the day of, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous. The first match that I'm seeing here is United States Champion Damian Priest versus Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Two guys that are just unreal in the ring, in my opinion. They were building up Damian Priest like a superstar when he was like calling out Bobby Lashley. And I was like, oh, here we go. Like they put the United States title on him. He's got the sick entrance. And then they took most of that away from him. And then now he's just Damian Priest. Like,
Yeah. I've never seen somebody be repackaged during the middle of a title reign, and it makes no sense because like his entrance was really cool. Like he was hot. Like I was at SummerSlam. The crowd loved that match. They loved Damian Priest, and then this like heaven and hell thing. If you could read his body language, that first entrance, dude, I can tell he's not feeling this gimmick at all. And I wouldn't
No.
either. But it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like WWE just like they go, "Oh, this guy's really over. Let's make him more over." And we're going to change all this stuff. And they don't realize that you don't need to tinker that much with his character. And then with Shinsuke, they just put the belt on him so that way he probably didn't leave. Honestly,
Yeah.
like Shinsuke is a guy that like I feel like he needs, like, I love him to death and I want him to stay in WWE, but like that dude's got to go somewhere else and get a lot more. He definitely should get a lot more screen time than what he usually gets.
Yeah, I think that Damien Priest and Shinsuke should have switched brands during the draft. I feel like that would have helped both of them a lot.
Yeah.
But especially Shinsuke, he's been on SmackDown since he debuted, and I
Yeah.
mean, seeing him on Raw, that would be a really nice change.
Yeah, it
But
would.
I don't understand giving him the King gimmick for like 2 months and then taking it away. I don't understand what purpose Rick Boogs serves. Just let Shinsuke go out there and be Shinsuke.
Yeah.
You know, that's somebody that exudes charisma. That's somebody that, like the Fiend was a money printing machine. They just don't want it. They
Dude,
don't
I'd
want it
love to
unless it's
see,
their idea.
yeah, I'd love to see a little program with Damian Priest and Roman. Honestly,
Yeah, if it
that'd
was
be
like
really cool.
this, yeah, if it was this first Damian Priest that we saw on the main roster, yeah, but I've got no interest in this new Damian Priest whatsoever. I'm
Oh
ready for him
no,
to lose the
like
title.
with his original gimmick, honestly, like that's
Oh
that's
yeah,
what I would have wanted. But I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna take Damian Priest in this match. I don't really know how they could have Shinsuke beat him at this point. They have to invest in the future. I'll just go Damian Priest. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I'm gonna go Priest as well.
the next match is RK Bro, Matt Riddle and Randy Orton versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, the tag team champions, squaring off, of course, RK Bro, the Raw tag team champions, and the Usos, part of the bloodline, obviously the SmackDown tag team champions. Do you like, how do you have the Usos lose? Like they've already done that little gimmick where, oh, how could you lose when I'm not here? They're gonna win.
Yeah, especially with how bad Roman's been on their ass the past couple of weeks. He's gonna be like, if you lose this match, like don't even show up to SmackDown, don't even show up to family Thanksgiving, Christmas, nothing.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
done.
I
It,
don't like, this is one of the matches where like could see some interference like from another tag team. Like they're maybe they'll try to do that just to like cover up both teams. I'm not gonna lie, I like RK Bro, but at the same time, like I'm starting to like fall off of the whole RK Bro thing.
yeah, it was cool for a minute, but then like Orton was away for a little while and they didn't even do anything. And it's like, okay, you're trying to get this back before SummerSlam, but like nobody cared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to eventually see Orton versus Riddle in like some sort of big like payoff match. Like that's
Yeah.
probably gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Which that'll be good. It'll probably be pretty good. So I think that this is just like this is gonna be a good match. The four of them are good in the ring. Like the Usos, again, like I've said, they're the best tag team on the entire planet. They're always gonna have good matches. So just because the bloodline needs to continue to win, I'm just gonna go with the Usos.
Same here.
All right. All right, let's go Becky and Charlotte next. We've got a little bit of a women's championship square off here. Raw versus SmackDown, of course. Again, um, I don't know. They're turning this into a bit of a shoot match, I guess. Like they're both like they've got some heat backstage. I don't know how real it is because they keep acknowledging it. Kind of like wink wink type stuff because most fans who have looked into this on Twitter or wherever else, um, I don't know how this one goes down. I mean, Charlotte always gets the big victories, but I don't think Becky can lose this match.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of those that's going to have like a DQ finish or something because I can't see either one of them agreeing to lose cleanly to the other right now.
Yeah.
I know at one point they were best friends, and from what I heard or what I had seen, somebody said that Charlotte got really upset during the build to one of their matches where Becky said that nothing about Charlotte was real, like pointing out like plastic surgery and stuff, and she didn't appreciate like being called plastic.
Yeah.
Um, whatever. People have said far worse. Look at what Paige said about your brother on TV, but
Yeah.
Charlotte's one of those people who, like, I cannot force myself to uh, like as a person or as a performer. I can't deny that she's had some really good matches and she's had some good moments, but she's just not somebody that I care about. Becky's starting to get to that point too, but we've seen this match a million times, never with this element. I don't know how far they're going to tap into that, but people were tired of seeing this match 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll be something different. Maybe it'll be something good. But I don't see either one of them winning or losing, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'm only going to be invested in this is if what they should have done was made this like a no DQ match or like some sort of like street fight stipulation where like they could beat the hell out of each other because they're both talented, but watching them just literally just, I mean, maybe it's not a good thing. If there's actually real heat there, they might actually crack each other, but I mean, if it's a good match, I mean, like I'm not really
You know,
complaining. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna throw a prediction out there. I'm just gonna say Becky wins. I just don't know how Charlotte wins this match.
yeah,
Um and you were saying you think it's gonna be a DQ, right?
something like that. Probably something similar to what Charlotte did to Ronda Rousey, where she just cracked her with the kendo stick, and but then you'd have to build for another match.
Yeah, no, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, unless like Bianca or Liv Morgan or Sasha, somebody comes out.
Have them all just come out. Why not?
Yeah,
Just
why
they all
not?
just
Nobody
um
cares about this match anyway.
Yeah, let's go over to the women's traditional 5-on-5 elimination match. So Monday Night Raw has Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Zelina. Friday Night SmackDown has Sasha Banks, Shotzi, Shayna Baszler, Natalia, and it was Aaliyah, but I think that they're replacing her in the match. She was a part of the team, and then they got rid of her, which doesn't make sense because I thought they were actually trying to build her up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really that invested in this. The only way that I thought that they are really going to do something with this is if they had somebody, which we've seen in years past, where they're like an up and coming guy, where like they're kind of there and they want to see if the crowd really connects with them. If they, their team is down 3-1 and then they come back and win the whole match type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think that this match could see something like that, but I think it's going to be one of those matches where I'm just predicting if I like, because again, I'm not too invested in this. Uh, with Queen Zelina, I think somehow she's gonna finish this match off. Like I think she's gonna end up getting the win. I think it's gonna be like somehow the other team's gonna be up. Um, her team's going to be up by a bunch of women, and then it's going to be a slow comeback by the other team, and then she's just going to finish it off. Like I can't really see anything else. That's just a random prediction. But I don't know, I'm not that invested, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, this match is just there to get people on the card and because they have to have this match early.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything special. I feel like Raw's team is too stacked to lose or to have all of them get pinned, especially
Hmm.
because you got Bianca, Rhea, and Liv. Liv's about to go into a thing with Becky. Uh, I feel like if you really want to do something special, like have Liv Morgan be like down like 3-1 against like Team SmackDown, have it be against like Natalia, Shayna, and whoever else, and just let her go in and get the crowd behind her going into this match with Becky, make people believe that she can beat Becky. I feel like that's the best thing you could do for this entire match. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I have Team Raw on this one personally.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. I mean, that team is pretty stacked. I mean, they have like the new queen of the ring. Like you said, they have the new challenger for Becky, one of the women that they build this company around. Rhea, who's still, I believe she's half of tag team champions with
Mm-hmm.
Nikki ASH. And then of course Bianca, who's like one of the, the future stars, still obviously a star right now, but like really one of the future stars of this company. So yeah, I think like you said, Team Raw is just really stacked. I think I want to go with Roman versus Big E next. The WWE champion versus the Universal champion. I was just mentioning to you that I think there could be interference in this match because I'm not really sure. Again, that's what's tough about this pay-per-view too, is that sometimes really big names get pinned and you're like, oh damn, like how do they go from here? Now, when I was younger, I loved that because it was like, oh, Triple H just got pinned. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those are cool moments that we don't really get too much anymore. But maybe we get something like that in this match. They're both really good performers, lots on the line for both, in my opinion, just in terms of like a little bit of credibility. Like I just don't know how Roman or Big E just loses clean in this match. This is where you might see a little bit of the New Day versus the Bloodline. I think they'll probably come out and there might be some interference there with ultimately Roman winning. So I don't know what you think, but this could be a really good match.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is going to be the best match on the show. Both guys are really good. Both are really. I'm a big fan of both of their title reigns so far. Roman hasn't lost to anybody yet. I could see if it was like down the line and like Big E was the one to dethrone him, I could see Big E beating him, but not in this situation, not right now. I feel like they'll want to protect him because he did just win the title, and you want to build that brand around him. So going back to what you said, I feel like the Usos will come out, and then Woods will come out, and then Kofi's been out for a couple of weeks, so then Kofi will come out and help, and
Yep.
then ultimately somehow or another the numbers game ends up being too much, and Roman ends up hitting like a Superman punch in a spear on Big E and winning. Is I mean that we can see that finish kind of happening a mile away, but
Yep.
it's still going to be fun to watch. I'm still looking forward to it. But yeah, Roman's just somebody. Nobody's pinning those shoulders for a minute.
Yeah, it's true. It is very true. So yeah, I think we both just say Roman, and definitely we both think that the New Day and the Bloodline could get involved. Now we have what you were saying probably could be the main event. You were saying you don't think that Roman and Big E should finish the show. You think that this 5v5 should end the show, the men's 5v5.
Yeah, but the more I think about it too, like Roman never is like the second to last match. He's always
Yeah,
either the first or the last.
true.
So I feel like that could be the main event. I don't know. It just depends, man. That one's kind of tough.
Yeah,
But as of right now, I could probably if you don't want to end it with like a screwy finish, then you go with the tag match as the main event.
yeah. So that match has Team Raw of Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory replacing um Rey Mysterio. Bobby Lashley is replacing Dom. Kevin Owens, who recently turned heel, which we're both pretty happy about. I got a text immediately, and I had fell asleep when he turned heel, but I got a text from Britain immediately. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, and then on Team SmackDown, Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy, King Woods, a vacant spot, and Baron Corbin. So that Raw team, the more I look at it, pretty damn stacked. I mean, the SmackDown team is pretty good, but damn, like
Yeah,
this is where a guy like Austin Theory might get a little bit of a little push. But he screams like first guy eliminated. Same thing with like Baron Corbin. Um,
exactly what I was thinking.
to get those guys out of the way. They could go a few ways with this match. Now, Roman doesn't really have a set feud coming up. The only one that people can really see is Drew, right? Possibly in the near future. But this is the match where if you see Jeff Hardy take out a few guys and win the match, this is where you might finally get the Jeff Hardy versus Roman Reigns program that a lot of people have been asking for, because Jeff is still getting one of the biggest pops out of any wrestling show
Yeah.
every single time he comes out. No more words, instant pop. Like he's still Jeff Hardy. You go on social media, Twitter, whatever. Jeff Hardy is one of the most over wrestlers, period, ever. The guy
I meant
just
to
is,
ask you. Yeah.
he's over.
Yeah.
Like, so this is where I, as a fan, I hope Jeff Hardy somehow escapes as one of the winners or the lone survivor. You know what I mean? Because then he comes out and goes, well, now look at me. Now I'm entitled to that. You know what I mean? Like I beat all these guys, former champs. which we'll get to that stupid thing that happened on that side in a second. I don't know what you're thinking, but it's either going to be Kevin Owens, Rollins, or Jeff, or maybe Drew. So there's two options on each side, in my opinion. It's going to be the guys that are going towards the title picture that are going to perform the best in this match, in my opinion.
Yeah, Raw's team, like the women's team, is really stacked, and I can't really see all of those guys getting pinned. Is the thing. Um, it's really tough because I could see like it coming down to another like 3 versus 1, like Drew versus like Rollins, Owens, and Lashley, and then just beating the three of them. That way, he looks credible going into, because I think he's unfortunately probably going to win the Royal Rumble this coming year. And I feel like that's just something to maybe get people behind him again, because he hasn't really been in the world title picture. Get people back on his side again, man. I don't know. But Team SmackDown, not that great. I don't understand why you make a big deal out of, oh, Dom can't be on Team Raw because he's not a world champion, but then you replace Rey Mysterio with somebody who's been on Raw for 2 weeks and has never
Yeah.
held a title. So that whole match, I wish Team SmackDown was a little more stacked. I don't know why you take Sami Zayn off, but I mean, nobody cares about Happy Corbin. Nobody, I feel like that team's just kind of there to get ran through for a minute, and then Drew comes in and saves the day. Is what that's just what I see.
Dude, it could be, who knows? Maybe it's a combination of, like, maybe Woods, this whoever replaces Sami Zayn and Corbin, they get run through, and then it's literally Jeff and Drew left. We've seen it happen before. Maybe the two of them end up winning again. Like, literally, it could be 5v2, and then
Yeah,
they just run through the entire thing, because that would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, that would be pretty cool.
yeah, I
And
wouldn't mind that.
then that maybe that creates a triple threat with Roman type
Yeah,
feud.
and that's something else too. From what I heard, the rumored main event for WrestleMania right now is Roman versus Drew versus Brock.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That's a very strong possibility, which, I mean, I would be okay with, because that's a huge main event. But like, it, in my opinion, like, that just screams, first of all, Roman's not winning. Second, how do you make Brock lose to Drew again? And then Drew just always has his number, I guess. I don't know. Like, you're saying that the only guy that can get, the only two guys that can really beat him is Brock, or is Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. I mean, you could go with that, I guess. Which, I mean, I don't think Brock really cares. He's probably just,
No,
look, he's gonna get a big paycheck. Which, by the way, I used to just be like, yo, like, whatever, Brock can leave, blah blah blah, like, years ago. But dude, Brock brings something to the table every
he
time.
does.
And dude, I just have so much more respect for his in-ring work. Like, that dude sells like really well.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he's so damn good.
one of the
Um,
best of all time at that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%. So, getting a bit off topic, I think you're probably right. Like, Drew probably will be the guy to come back. I like it to be Drew and Jeff, so that way Jeff still has that little bit of bragging rights to be able to be like, well, I'm entitled to this as well. But like I said earlier, it's gonna be people who are in the title picture that end up winning this match, unless you go way off the board and Austin Theory somehow is a guy that gets pushed to the moon. But and then I guess then he feuds with Big E also. I have no idea, but
Only thing Austin
um
Theory needs to get pushed off of is, I'm not even going to say it.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. Taking Ray and Dom off the team. I mean, taking Dom off for Bobby, sure. But like, Rey Mysterio probably didn't need to get taken out. But
no,
is it also because the team was so stacked? Like, you add Ray, then Raw just looks like the greatest team ever. Like, they have like the most stupid team ever.
yeah. I mean, you look at their team compared to SmackDown, and it's like, do I really think Happy Corbin's going to go in and pin Seth Rollins and turn around and pin Bobby Lashley? No.
Yeah. Dude, all I need to see though is like, I know this is so off topic, but dude, I every time I talk about Seth Rollins, all I can see is that stupid little dance he does when he enters the ring, dude. It's so amazing, dude. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, I almost want to dance every time I see that dude come out because he just looks like the biggest jackass ever.
Every dance is like different too. Like the way his body moves, it just kills me. I'll be
Like he
sitting
does
on the
the
couch. Yeah,
like
dude. I watch with my stepdad and my mom, and like they hate Seth Rollins. So like whenever he comes out, dude, I will just die laughing.
yeah.
And they'll just be sitting at the TV just looking pissed because they hate him. Just over there just chuckling. I love him. He's the man. He should be world champion.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, he looks like he's ready to get another monster push to the moon. Like, dude, his gimmick is so funny, man. Like, he's such a dick. I love it. It's so funny, man. The guy is just such a jackass.
The
Um,
outfits, man.
dude, the outfits are crazy. But like, did you see like there's some people doing articles on like clothing brands and like fashion people like doing articles on like how he's like changing the game in pro wrestling with like these crazy outfits and stuff like that. I'm like, okay,
I
some
didn't see that.
outside
That's cool.
exposure.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that, but that's really cool. Yeah, it's I don't. I wonder how much he spends on suits and outfits like per year.
I hope he hides the tags in his pocket or something and he ends up returning those things because man, they must be expensive, bro. He
They
goes into
gotta
his
be.
closet. There's like 10,000 suits in there, like insane. I don't know. But I guess as a final prediction, I'm gonna say Team SmackDown because it seems like you're probably gonna get like you had predicted like Drew probably running through them. But I'm just gonna say Drew and Jeff just to be a little different. I hope that's what happens, honestly.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Whether it's Drew and Jeff or just Drew as the sole survivor, even if it was down to 5 versus 2 and Jeff pins like 2 or 3 of them, and then Jeff gets pinned, and then it's down to 1 versus 2, that would still be cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. Team SmackDown.
Yeah, it would be cool to like just to throw everybody off to see Jeff just be the lone survivor would be awesome. Really
Oh
would be
yeah,
awesome because you want to talk about a monster pop.
yeah, dude. He got a. I meant to text you about this the other night. I think it was on SmackDown. He got like a really big pop the other night.
Yeah, dude, multiple times. Like his
Yeah,
entrance, huge pop. Setting up the swanton, huge pop. Then they did like this really cool camera angle where when he's about to do the swanton and he like kind of like acknowledges the crowd, again, pop. Then he wins another pop. I'm like, dude, Jeff Hardy is right there. It's so easy.
yeah,
He might not be in the best shape, but dude, don't put him in any matches on SmackDown. Have him go up against the Usos and Paul Heyman in backstage segments and in-ring segments. Have them torment him, do whatever, and then just have the big payoff match. And
yeah.
dude, and it's written for you. It's so easy. Like
He doesn't have
Jeff,
to win.
yeah, he won't. But like
Yeah,
Jeff and Roman would put on a really good match. They definitely would because Jeff would go balls to the wall for that.
yeah,
He would. It's not a
and that's
regular SmackDown match. He knows that this is his chance to get right back up there. He would have a great match.
yeah. This is the face of SmackDown from the last decade versus the face of SmackDown for really this decade.
Yeah, there's a real natural buildup to that.
Yeah,
Like you could easily just be like, dude, Roman can come in there and be like, dude, you're washed. Like you're not me.
go home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like literally, dude. And then it's just Jeff as everybody's, ultimate. Like I know they said the ultimate underdog for Rey Mysterio, but like he is in that case the ultimate underdog, the charismatic enigma versus the head of the table, bro. Like it's right there. I'd love it. I'd love that. That I would be so intrigued.
yeah. I haven't been too impressed with like too much of what I've seen from Jeff Hardy in the ring over the past little while. But like you get him with the right opponent, you get with him with somebody like Roman Reigns in like a high profile feud, high profile match. Dude, if he would jump off a ladder and bang his head on the steel steps for a match with Elias in the Thunderdome, dude, imagine what he's going to do with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, because and again, like you can tell Jeff is one of those guys that when he's put in a storyline and he's put in like legitimate matches, he gives you a little bit more. Like when he
Oh yeah,
did that program with Sheamus, that was good to me. I
yeah,
actually liked it. There was real stuff there, and Jeff delivered. Sheamus delivered. You're gonna get Jeff to deliver in any match where you're putting him in a legitimate storyline. You know what I mean? So, yeah, again, we could again like this is why we're gonna do this every week because we can have these conversations about certain wrestlers till the cows come home. So
Yeah.
literally, did you want to briefly talk about the Kevin Owens heel turn because I think that's something that you kind of predicted.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to happen as soon as it did, but it happened pretty quick. For those that didn't see it, Kevin Owens to turn heel finally on Big E Monday before this past Monday, so a week ago and some change. It was Seth versus Kevin Owens, and then Big E was in Kevin Owens' way to get back into the ring. Owens ended up losing by countout, so he just attacked Big E. Then this past week on Raw, he said, he pretty much solidified the heel turn. I forget exactly what he said, but he's a heel now, and I feel like that's what we said on the first episode. Like he needs this so bad. It's a breath of fresh air. You can already tell his demeanor's changed. He's having more fun doing this, and I'm really excited to see it because we've seen so many times what Kevin Owens can do as a heel, the promos he can cut, the matches he can have, the heat he can get, and him being able to go back to that, maybe that'll convince him to stay in WWE, and maybe that will get him back to where he needs to be on their radar and on their card. But what if it's just for the next 3 months? Then man, I'm excited for it because this Kevin Owens is the reason why he's been one of my favorite wrestler in WWE, but one of my favorite wrestlers in general for almost 10 years now. He's so exciting to watch, and whenever he's determined and whenever he's out there having fun, he's one of the best to watch. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think he'll put forth his best work as a heel. He usually does. I mean, he's had some really good stuff as a face also, but like it just works better with him as a heel. And I'm really looking forward to it. And he's in the title picture, so that's always a good thing. Maybe a good performance at Survivor Series makes you believe a little bit more if you're not a believer in Kevin Owens, because that's what matches like that can do. And hopefully WWE makes the right decision with whoever wins or whoever loses, whatever they need to have a reason for these things. So I'm really excited to see what goes on there. Maybe Rollins costs Kevin Owens the match, cost the part of the match at Survivor Series or vice versa. And then it turns into a bit of a triple threat type feud again, over against Big E. So we'll have to see what happens there. I don't know if you have anything else to add, but I think we had a pretty solid show.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't think of anything at the moment, but yeah, we got a lot out there.
Yeah. So definitely let us know what you guys think down below. Make sure to like this video, comment, whatever you guys want to do. Recommend it, post it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, MSN Messenger, whatever the hell you guys have. Throw it
We
a
did see
couple
a
of those
little
ones.
bit of a jump from our views the first week and our likes the first week versus the second week. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. It's it's fun. This is easy for us, but like at the same time, like we're trying to put in an effort for you guys and be consistent and give you guys good content. This is just the beginning. This is just the first little thing that we're doing. We have lots of stuff planned. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Yeah, and we'll definitely see you guys in episode 4. So peace.